cute name, butternut. Is that the worms?
Yeah, it's an ambrosia maple.
Ambrosia maple. Wow. Is that butternut? Yeah. Okay. I like the name of it, so I had to have one.
There you go.
Turn left on Butler Road.
Dang, he's down there in the trees. Alright, I guess I'm narrating on your channel.
I guess.
We are making some really pretty resin for this next bowl, and we used some purple spray paint, and we used this extra fine glitter, and so we're hoping this comes out awesome. We're going to pour it in this mold that he made, and he covered it with this tape called Tyvek, and it's not supposed to melt like the blue stuff that we were using before, the plastic. So we have the mad scientist over here mixing a concoction. We're going to darken this even more and swirl it in with the original mixture.
After it sets up for a little while, so it doesn't just completely mix. Maybe it'll leave a streak in it.
Yeah, we're trying to leave a darker streak in our mixture.
So here we go.
That glitter is so pretty in there. The second pour into the same thing.
Ooh.
Oh, dadgummit. It wasn't supposed to melt.
It sure did.
This is gonna be gorgeous. Well, you said you torched it and it didn't burn.
I did. I torched that other piece.
Maybe you're just getting a little too happy with that torch.
Maybe.
All right, we are about ready to unveil this purple strip. We put that color and that color, and Jamie supposedly swirled them without my knowledge because I wanted to use a toothpick, but he used something else, and so we're gonna see if that worked out well. All right, we've loosened all the screws. There it is. Boy, it's sparkly on that bottom side. I guess all the glitter sunk to the bottom. So you can see the dark in the light. We don't know what it's going to look like until we put it in the bowl and start whittling it down.
And you're actually going to be looking from that angle.
Really?
Yeah.
Just can't imagine.
That mold really worked well.
Yeah. All right, get to making that bowl. What are you waiting for? I know that thing's not hard yet, is it?
No. It's going to sit for a couple of days. I'm getting ready to cut this resin strip into little 1-inch blocks. This is going to be pretty cool, I think. Here's what the purple resin bowl is going to be made of. The base is already mounted on the lathe. It's going to be cherry. The next ring up from the base is going to be ambrosia maple.
The worms?
Yeah, it's an ambrosia maple.
Ambrosia maple.
The next ring up from that is going to be butternut.
That's a cute name, butternut.
The next layer up will be a thin ring of cherry. Then we'll have rock maple with the resin in between each square. Then followed by another thin ring of cherry and then a butternut for the top. Okay, the purple resin blocks are all sanded. Well, they look pretty ugly right now. Hopefully they'll look better than that when we get them in the bowl. This is the end that you'll actually be seeing on the outside of the bowl. But they'll look better, I hope. Here are all the pieces for the purple resin bowl. I've got 2 rings clamped. 3 rings completed. The bottom is ready, and these little blocks are for the resin pieces to make the resin ring. Then we'll start putting all the rings together. And we'll let that set for a couple days. There's how the resin ring is going to lay out. It's not finished, it's just laying there. So I've got to mix up some resin. I will use resin to fasten it together, which is one of the strongest glues you can come up with. So I'll get some resin mixed up, put it on it, and we'll put a hose clamp around it, and then this will have to set for at least a day before we can do anything else with it. Alright, the ring is together with epoxy resin in between all the joints, and what little bit was left I just poured on top. So now I'll cover this with a piece of this blue plastic and put a hose clamp on it. I wouldn't want to put a hose clamp without the plastic because I would never get it off. Then we'll let this set for at least a day. Then we'll take it off, plane it, and we'll be ready to start putting the bowl together. So the resin ring is clamped with a hose clamp to hold it good and tight between the joints. Then I clamp this plywood ring on top to hold it good and flat. So we're done with this until tomorrow. We'll uncover it and see how it looks. So the first ring is on. So this is cherry for the base. This is ambrosia maple. And next will be a butternut. And I've never used the butternut before, so we'll see how it works. So there's the purple epoxy ring. It's going to have to be ran through the planer to smooth it down on both sides, but it's still a little bit soft. So I'm going to let it set another day without being wrapped in plastic, and then we'll run it through the planer tomorrow. The purple ring has been planed and sanded, so it's ready to go on. Then we've got the upper ring to go on. So 2 rings, and then this will be ready to start turning. I've already turned a little bit of it. So by tomorrow we'll be able to start turning it. Should be able to finish it tomorrow. Turning is actually the easiest part. It takes less time than any of it. The purple bowl is together. So now it's got to set until tomorrow, then we'll start turning it down and we'll see then kind of what it's going to look like. You never know. Finally, it seems like forever, we're going to start turning the purple bowl. Lots of scrap wood, but we're starting to take shape. I've got a template there that I stick on there to see where I need to take a little more off, but we're getting there. I'm wearing a lot of chips right now, but we're getting pretty close on the outside, and then we'll be turning it over and doing the inside. But it's looking pretty good so far. Okay, so we've got it turned down to a pretty round shape. It's not perfect, but what I'm going to do now is sand it, and I'll start with some 40 grit. That'll really smooth it up and get these little ridges that you can feel, they'll all be gone. So we'll do a little sanding. I've done a little cleaning already. So we'll sand it, get the outside looking good, then we'll be ready to go turn the inside. The sanding on the outside is complete, and I've got one coat of OB Shine Juice, is what it's called. It's a 3-part mixture: denatured alcohol, clear shellac, and boiled linseed oil. It just kind of puts a coat of oil on the wood, kind of seals it up. Really makes it look good, and it's going to be pretty sharp. It's hard to see on camera, but the metallic flakes in that purple really look good. And that's still probably over 1/2 inch thick, so it'll be thinner, be able to see through it better once it's turned on the inside. Right now the inside's still rough, so tomorrow we'll go to work on the inside. I think the outside, there we go. I think the outside looks pretty good. This is the most tedious part. You make a light cut, do a little measuring, and then cut some more. I'm about 50 thousandths from where I want to be, and then we'll start our sanding. Alright, the inside is turned. So we've started sanding. I've done the 40 grit. So we've got about a dozen grits to work our way down through, and then we'll be finished with it. As always, the exciting part. So we fix it to cut it loose, and hopefully nothing goes flying away in the where it doesn't supposed to be. There we go. Now all I've got to do is sand that off, and it'll be done.